Now for scaling up, horizontal and vertical scaling. So what is scaling up? Scaling up, so you have an ad that's good, it's performing well, so you're getting a positive return on your investment. Either you're sure of that because you have sales reports, etc., or you're pretty much sure that you can profit from these emails that you're getting. But anyways, you're getting a desired result, right? And there is a comfortable gap between what you're spending and what you're making. So now it's time to basically spend more and make more. If you put $5 in and you make $10, the goal here is to put $500 in and make $1,000 every day, right? So that's the point. I don't think there's a limit to how much you can earn with YouTube ads. Well, there probably is, but I think it's the distance. So when to scale? So most people will tell you to start scaling as soon as you bring one of your ads to profitability. So you have one of your ad or more that strike gold and they're making money. Now I will tell you to scale as soon as you bring an ad to profitability and understand why it's being profitable. This is important. It's not really that important to say, at least not to underline, but because if you have a profitable ad, you probably have put in the work behind that ad, and it's, you probably know your audience, you probably know your product, you probably have all of that figured out. So I'm not going to stress that too much, but you'll understand why it's important to understand why your campaign has been profitable when it comes to scaling. So in-stream and in-display scale almost the same way, but in-stream ads can usually scale much higher than their search counterpart. Reason for that is there is a set number of people who search for certain keywords on YouTube, right? And then there's a certain number of people who watch video on topics related to those keywords on YouTube, and that the latter is much higher than the former. And it's, for example, if you have an in-display ad and someone is, you get 1,000 monthly searches on one keyword and it's doing well, and you find another keyword has 1,000 monthly searches. That's not a lot. On the other hand, people watching the videos can come to that videos from many different ways. They can come from external websites, they could come from suggested videos from their subscription box, right? Whereas keywords, they have to be typed exactly that way. So you need to find every keyword, and even then, you're probably not going to be able to scale insanely high, right? So in-stream scales a bit better than in display. So vertical scaling. Vertical scaling means basically put more money in, right? You put $1, you make $2. If you put $10, you'll make $20. That's the theory, at least. So that's the easiest and usually safest way of scaling. Just increase your budget gradually and watch out for your return on investment as it may tank. So big mistake you could make is go from investing $100 a day in your ad to suddenly putting in $1,000 a day, because a couple things could go wrong, right? First off, the placements you're getting, if you suddenly increase your budget so much, YouTube is going to want to place those ads and spend your budget, right? Because they want your money. So they might even end up putting your videos on lesser placements. They might, if you've been targeting worldwide, they might target third world countries, etc. So the mentality of Google here is, if we're not technically wrong, we can spend your money any way we want. So you really need to be careful about your targeting, basically, to make sure that if you spend money, it's on a good placement and not a bad placement. There's no way you get to know the placement except for going into placement and checking it out in the analytics. So make sure you are getting paid on the back end and that you have a solid cash flow, as problems will happen. I say will happen, they may not, but I say will because you should think by default that they will happen. It's very easy to have an affiliate network that doesn't pay, that pays late, that pays only by check, and then you need to wait a week for the check to arrive and another week to cash it in. So what I mean is, if you spend too much and you're not getting paid fast enough on the back end, you'll go dry. You may go dry, and then you'll have to wait to resume a campaign, and that's going to be very frustrating. And it may even be that you're not even going to get paid in the back end. So that goes to say, choose a reliable network, okay, reliable affiliate network, reliable seller. Of course, the most reliable seller is going to be yourself. Do all of that, and you should be okay. Keep making different variations of your ad, your winning ad, to make sure they don't bore the audience. For example, in-stream ad, I don't think someone gets to see an in-stream ad more than three times, and still be interested in it. I don't think that's possible. So you can either put in a cap about how often you want your ad to appear, or you may simply just change ads around so that at least they're slightly different and people don't get bored. You will likely hit a wall with in-display much sooner than with in-stream. That's what I touched on in the previous slide. So horizontal scaling, expand the target audience. So whereas vertical scaling just means put more money in, horizontal scaling is expanding the audience. Both can be done, right? You don't have to do one of both. This one requires you to retake the targeting steps you have undergone. So for example, you have you're targeting a certain channel because it's your perfect channel. There's no other channel like it. It's converting so well, and so you're putting your in-stream ads on it. But you're targeting only the US, and you're getting such a high return on investment. But unfortunately, the traffic is not getting so much. The channel is not getting so much traffic that you've hit a wall basically, and you want to expand the traffic. So what you may do is run your ad to a totally different country or set of countries. What I mean by that is not create specifically another ad, even though you could do that, but open up to other countries. So go back to campaign targeting and add more countries, or simply remove the country targeting you were doing and target the entire world. Be careful with that. And if you have a geo-sensitive offer, then obviously don't do it, but you get the point. Run your ad to a totally different target audience. Same thing, you were targeting men, try targeting women, right? You're probably cutting off half of your audience by only targeting men. In display, find more keywords, okay? So if you're doing in display and you're getting a max amount of traffic, if you find more keywords, more variations with the wealth of keyword tools that exists on the internet, then you can probably expand your audience. In stream, find more channels or videos. And this requires you to understand why your ad performs well in the first place, to know what kind of additional audience should do well. Look, if you're doing gaming and you're targeting only men, and you think, well, I'm targeting women, and then suddenly your ROI just drops and you're being at a loss, right? Don't be surprised, okay? Don't be surprised. You need to understand why your ad performs well in the first place. Vertical scaling is pretty easy to do if you don't have a clue. You just put more money in. That's the dummy way to go. But horizontal scaling is killing itself.